Welcome back. In Syria, there are more than 100 militant groups fighting against government forces. President Bashar al-Assad has offered an amnesty to militants who surrendered. RT-Dog is the first foreign crew to film the stories of soldiers who were amnestied and who then formed new pro-Assad army units. RT's tengah-tengah explains why sometimes an official pardon doesn't mean forgiveness.
لازم انه اثق فيهم ليعودوا لابن الوطن، لازم تكون مبادره منا ولازم انه نثق بغيرنا ونعطيه فرصه.
لانه اللي مثلا قام على بلده واستغل فرصه الازمه، انه استغل انه ياخذ مصاري ويخرب البلد، مستحيل يرجع يصلح يعني.
A full amnesty for militants and defectors wishing to denounce a life with rebel groups involved in the war in Syria. President Assad caught many by surprise with his announcement.
When they give up their arms and go back to their normal life, the government offered them amnesty.
But did those searching for a way out of the terrorist nightmare trust the president's promise? Fadi was kidnapped by al-Nusra militants. Realizing that he was physically unable to fight, they decided to use him as a cleaner. He recounts being tortured and bearing witness to horrific crimes.
بالله العظيم فاتوا على بيت الله العرام يزنوا فيه ويشربوا عرق ريان فيه بقلبه أنا قدامهم ويفوزوا يصلوا. كانوا يخلوني ننظف لهم الغرفة وكذا وهيك واغلي لهم شاي وهيك. كانوا يجيبوا الشباب كل شيء يعتقلوه هي هيك ياخذوه يشربوا أيام ينزلوا تحت هيك يعني عذبوا العالم. يعني تصور إنه أنا
Al-Nusra Front is the most notorious rebel group in Syria, apart from ISIL. Known for their punishing methods of abuse, violence and general disregard for human life, the UN have officially declared them a terrorist group. They've disassociated themselves from al-Qaeda, rebranding as Jabhat Fateh al-Sham. But they're not the only factions terrorizing the Syrian population. Ahrar al-Sham and Jaish al-Islam are also known to be amongst the most aggressive. Long-term effects formed by what these men have done or what they've been forced to do is apparent. Malad is a former al-Nusra member. He insists that he never killed anyone, yet his past still haunts him.
هلا في منهم بيقتلوا ايه؟ في منهم بيقتلوا.
يعني طلبوا منك انت اذا في
لا هلا انا فهمت مثلا حواجز، كل واحد له عنده اختصاص معين، بيطلعوا عليه في الدبابة بيقتلوه أو يذبحوه. هلا في منهم بيقتلوهم، في منهم بيحطوهم بالسجن، في منهم بيرتاح من العذاب تبعهم، بيعترف انه خلاص ميت بيعترف عشان يقتلوه مشان يرتاح.
The war in Syria continues to be bloody and brutal, but it's those embroiled in the conflict and confusion that have suffered the most at the hands of these terrorist factions. But will the amnesty work in the long term, and will the newcomers win the trust of their peers, having very recently been their enemies? Well, only time will tell. But for those soldiers who have fled a life of terror, there is now only hope. tengah-tengah, RT.
And you can watch the full documentary called Amnesty in Wartime on Monday and Tuesday, and the time of the broadcast is available on RT's online schedule page. Now, among the groups fighting against the government in Syria, the U.S. distinguishes so-called moderate rebels. However, Virginia Senator Richard Black says some of those receiving Western support are actually terrorists.
They give basic training to terrorists, and the terrorists, in theory, are going to support moderates, but in fact, they go on the open market and they're sold to the highest bidder. There's been testimony from ISIS that says, where do you think our troops come? From the face of the moon? No, they don't come from the face of the moon. They come from training camps from the United States. Ahrar al-Sham, Jaish al-Islam, these are part of al-Qaeda. And we call some of them moderate rebels because we have to have a mechanism to flow anti-tank and anti-air missiles to ISIS and to al-Qaeda. We can't do it directly because it's politically unacceptable. So we have to have groups we call moderates.
As the U.S. presidential race heats up with rivals Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump increasingly surrounded by scandals and controversy, more and more people are beginning to look for an alternative. However, a number of mainstream media outlets are warning against voting for any third party, insisting that you shouldn't even consider supporting any party other than the Democrats or Republicans. And some have gone so far as to claim that a vote for a so-called fringe party will be a, quote, waste, warning that such a vote will only help Donald Trump win the race to the White House. RT's Watching the Hawks host Tabitha Wallace spoke exclusively to Green Party presumptive presidential nominee Jill Stein about the ongoing media scaremongering campaign against third parties.
You know, we're being told, we the American people who have been thrown under the bus, we're basically being told to be good little boys and girls and listen to the political establishment and the party operatives and the you know, and the pundits, the political pundits on the big media, and we're being told to just, you know, kind of be quiet, go along to get along, and just do more of the same. That is more of what's throwing us under the bus. Why is it that the powers that be are trying to shut down discussion and debate right now? Let's let this discussion go forward. Let's let the American people know that there is a campaign which has the unique ability, because we are not corrupted by the big money,